Hello everyone, let us discuss about aphorism 56 and 57 today. Here Hanuman gives us knowledge about antipathic system of medicine and isopathic system of medicine. In the last aphorisms we have seen elaborately regarding allopathic system of medicine. Antipathy is a system of medicine which is based on prescribing the medicine on opposite symptoms, that is contraria contraris curator, and this was a system which was prescribed by Galen and is a very effective and very strong system of medicine which existed for 17 centuries. So antipathic system of givers was giving instantaneous and immediate relief, but this happens only in case of acute diseases, never in the chronic cases. In chronic cases it will cause more harm to the patient and it will aggravate the disease. Antipathy also was known as an angiopathy, that was stimulating and strengthening system. Next is isopathy. Same contagious principle was introduced in the body of the person to get the cure. The cure was effected by opposing the same. So same by same, right? But what is the disadvantage here is it is not possible in every case of disease you get the same morbific potency to introduce into the person. For example, you are suffering from one disease and the same contagious principle is taken by your body and introduced in you so that you can get cured. How many people we are going to do like that? Which is not possible. To simplify it in a more very simpler and in very crude terms, you should say if at all a snake has bitten you and then it went off. Then so as to cure you, you have to go in search of the same snake and get that snake back to you, which is highly impossible. Isopathy, how they must have thought it. During those days, actually, smallpox was troubling mankind very badly. And cowpox also was there, which was affecting the cows. So they took the morbific agent from the cows and they prepared vaccination and they started distributing it to all human beings for smallpox. Okay, which was produced from the cowpox. But when you actually you analyze it, you will come to know that this was based on similar principle, not on the same principle, because cowpox and smallpox were very similar in their manifestation. Now once we know the ill effects of means disadvantages of isopathy, one would like to talk how antipathy works. Antipathy works on the basis of opposite, like that is you are supposed to give the medicine on the basis of opposites. In this case what happens is single troublesome symptom is taken care, the whole body will not be taken care. Holistic concept is not seen in this case. For example, patient comes to us with few symptoms: headache, fever, diarrhea and vomiting, right? So patient has come to us with all these complaints and then you have to do is, for fever you are giving antipyretic, for pain you are giving painkiller, and for vomiting you are giving antiemetic. Whereas suppose if at all a patient has got one peculiar symptoms in it, you will not be you don't know what is the medicine for it and you will not be able to cure that particular thing. So these four symptoms have medicines, they received medicines for them and then they will be alright, but this symptom will remain. So he gives example now of the medicines used during those days for the diseases and how actually it is acting. So here you see opium, large doses, okay, so large doses of opium. Anytime they are giving in antis, that has to be in large doses. Large doses of opium cures all sorts of pains. How does it cure is, it actually stops the sensibility of the nerves and hence pain is not felt. So large doses of opium is being given for diarrhea, where it puts full stop to the peristaltic movements and the intestine becomes insensible. And when it becomes insensible, naturally it is not moving. When it is not moving, diarrhea is being stopped. So opium, when it is given for sleeplessness, it immediately produces stupefied, comatose sleep. See, again, everything in large doses. Purgatives are given for constipation, they also give effect. When a burnt hand is plunged into cold water, burnt is, again opposites, the immediate relief is obtained. Whenever a person is suffering from chilliness or lack of vital heat, he takes the warm bath to refresh himself or to feel enlivened. And whenever patient is feeling prolonged debility, then wine is prescribed to him and he feels fresh immediately. So like this, a physician employs lot of antibiotic medicines, but yes, so how many medicines is going to bring like this. For each symptom you have to prescribe. So it becomes very difficult for you to get so many medicines because every symptom has to be targeted. Because there are very few substances whose primary action is known to the ordinary physician. As very few substances primary action is known, we are limited when we are treating by antipathic mode of treatment. So let's see now what questions we will get. So 10 marks question will come to you. Explain different methods of treatment and which is the best method. So we'll start with introduction, that where we will tell that how disease and health and the cure has to be there, and then you will talk to us about different systems of medicines, what Hahnemann has spoken in 6th edition in aphorism from 54 to 58. We see that he speaks about different systems of medicine. One is allopathy and one more is antipathy and isopathy. When you are explaining these symptoms, you are supposed to explain principle of each system, give a bit of explanation and advantages and disadvantages of each system. So you know that allopathy is also known as heteropathy. There is no principle. It is based on heteroprinciple. Anything is been prescribed without any logic. And give some examples. List minimum 3 examples. The explanation itself will contain your examples. Okay. Then what are the advantages? In allopathy, sometimes if at all the patient is being cured, it is by their luck. It is absolutely not possible because you are not applying any logic and you don't know whether it gets cured or also no. Disadvantages it causes more harm because again we are talking about 200 years back what practice was going on during Hahnemann's time, and it was causing more harm to the patient than the benefit. Then come to antipathy. It was preached by Galen and stayed there for 17 centuries, and the principle of this is contraria contraris curenter. Give some examples. Already we have given in 57th aphorism. And then what are the disadvantages? Immediately instantaneous relief you will get, but followed by the aggravation of the same symptoms in case of chronic diseases, right? And what about isopathy? Isopathy is treating the diseases based on same morphic agent, but it is very difficult for you to do such thing because how are we going to search for same morphic agents and how we are going to process it every time and give to the patient? Whenever they thought of isopathy or they treated, it was basically we see that it was more of similar principle or rather same principle. So conclusion is we have so many systems of medicine existing, all have their advantages and disadvantages, and homeopathy also is a system of medicine, but it is more advantageous in chronic diseases. Thank you.